Hello everyone, name's Lisa, JJ Movie TV / Game Reviews everybody, and now I want to give my top 7 Rocky movies. I've got the entire collection on Blu-ray. Justin Creed, let's do this shit. Now here's the thing everybody. I was never into boxing. I was never into the sport boxing. Watching it, it was just very boring to me. And then I seen the films and the films just made me like boxing. That just sums it up. I'm more into UFC and all this stuff, and I'm never really a big fan of boxing matches. Including the Floyd Money Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao shit. Oh my god. But, going back to Rocky movies, this is my own personal list. So, respect my opinion, I'll respect yours. So, let's start it off with the bad. And there's only one bad Rocky film, in my opinion. Rocky 5. We all knew it was going to be Rocky 5. We all knew it. Here's the title of this movie. After Rocky beats the Russian dude and he gets a United States and he ends the Cold War in Rocky 4. Basically, in Rocky 5, you know what he does? Bankrupt. Bad bookkeeping. He loses all his fucking money. That's basically the script of Rocky. And Rocky can no longer fight no more. It's official. He can no longer fight. So he decides to do the next best thing. He can really touch his roots during his town that he grew up with. Granted, not everything's all lifestyle, and he's trying to get some more money to help his wife around, and he's trying to be a role model to his son. But at the end of the day, he gets involved with this basically white fighter, this white young kid who has a lot of anger issues, who Rocky trains to become a fighter. Rocky trains to become a fighter. This kid likes Rocky, but then again, he gets turned around by this basically guy that's basically brainwashes the kid to go against Rocky and all that stuff, to push you to champ and all that stuff. This kid wants respect, and at the end of this movie, it's him versus Rocky. The kid who basically stole a lot of attention from Rocky's son, is basically gonna fight Rocky now because he believes if I could be Balboa, then I will not be the second outing. I am still my own person, my own man, and because of that, Rocky's like, don't do it. And Rocky, for another time, fights a guy, and it's not in the ring, it's outside in a street fight. That's the only redeemable part about this. He beats the young kid who has a serious anger issues and a lot of hate issues, and at the end, Rocky prevails. And then the only part I like about this film also is the fact that the guy says, hit me, I'll sue. Then Rocky punches him, is like, sue me for what, basically, because Rocky doesn't have nothing. And the fact that this movie had bad bookkeeping, and that's the reason why Rocky lost all his money, is a damn fucking shame. Now, if I'm comparing this to all the Rocky films, this is a total crap fest. It's shit. But, if I have to rate it as its own movie, a 6 out of 10. This is a D- movie because of good fight scene at the end. But it's still not up to par with the Rocky movies. Let's get rid of that memory right there. That was Rocky 5. That was number 7. Now, my 6th favorite, or number 6, is none other than Rocky 4. Why do people think... Why is Rocky 4 so low? Why? Didn't Rocky beat the big-ass Russian dude? Didn't he said that speech, if I could change, you could change? Well, here's the thing. Apollo Creed dies in this movie. By the big-ass Russian. Apollo Creed wanted to go out as a warrior. He did that. And when when he died, Rocky decided, I'm going to take him on to revenge my friend. He did that. He got his ass whooped. And know what he needs to do at the end of this thing? He's going to Russia, lift some logs, and he beats the Russian dude with the same technique that he lost in the first one. This, to me, had the Dark Knight Rises written all over it. Batman vs. Bane. I beat him up. What new strategy does Batman have against Bane in the new film? In the Dark Knight Rises, later on in the fight, for the final fight? Same technique, except he beats Bane somehow. Rocky beats the Russian dude because he has a will of the American spirit behind him. No. I'm not a fan of Rocky 4. When I saw Rocky 4, I thought it was like, oh, this is crap. I mean, it's not crap like Rocky 5, but Rocky 4 is just like, what the fuck? This is a great movie? I mean, even the freaking... This was the movie poster right there of him, like, with the flag. You already know the movie at the end. Granted, we all know the movie's how it's going to end, but we didn't need to have the American flag right there. It was like, oh, Rocky the American beat the Russian dude. Who wants to see that in Russia? No one. Rocky 4, Not my movie. Definitely not my movie. Rocky 4 out of a 10 though, I give it a 7 out of 10. That is number 6. Now, number 5 is to me a very underrated Rocky film. It's named Rocky Balboa. I enjoyed the shit out of Rocky Balboa. This is Rocky's last fight. I love how he gives this line to his son: "When you get hit, you gotta get up stronger," because that's how life does to you. I just love the fact that in the near future, his wife is dead. Rocky's wife is dead. Paulie's still around, and it's just a sad story of what you eventually come when you're no longer fighting. Rocky opens up a restaurant. That girl from the first movie that said, "Rocky, like screw you," and all that stuff, and basically she kisses him in this movie, which I thought was freaking interesting. I like this arc, and even though I think her son, the kid, it wasn't really needed in this movie. But Rocky and his kid and this bond of like finally going out and see if he still got one in him and just unleash the beast one last time. I love this film. I think Rocky Balboa is a good film. It's sometimes a great film to me. It's 8.8 out of 10. I love this film. Rocky Balboa. I just enjoy this film. I adore this film. I'll go back to this film a million times because had such a great spirit of the first Rocky movie. This has the spirit of all the Rocky and what it was great about, and I love fucking Rocky Balboa. So screw people who don't like this film. It's a pretty dang good to great film. 8.8 out of 10. And number 4 on the list, and everybody's gonna hate me for this one. Rocky 1. The original Rocky film. Now, hold on, people. I know everyone's saying dislike. Rocky, the first film. I enjoyed it. It had so many classical moments. But the thing is, though, this was the origin story of Rocky. And here's the thing. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky at the beginning, is not all that interesting. He's a boxer. He's an up-and-coming boxer. He is in love with this girl. His best friend's Paulie as a sister. And he's romanticizing her. And he's just trying to become a better fighter and to prove himself into the world that he could be one of the greats. He could stand up to Apollo Creed, an Italian sound versus Apollo Creed. I love this film. It's a classic for what it is. To me, this is like Star Wars: A New Hope. It brought it up. It started something and became a classic. But to me, the sequels, what made it a legend. It would just brought into a whole new level, the sequels, in my opinion. But just like Star Wars: The New Hope, Rocky the movie, if they're classic films, you should definitely watch it. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. My 4th favorite of the Rocky films. Do not hate me. I love this film, but it's not my favorite. And number 3 is Creed. I just seen Creed in the theaters, and I don't think my opinion is going to change about this. Creed, to me, is better than Rocky 1. One, because Creed is a different character than Rocky. He's a guy who's basically trying to prove to himself and to everything about what he's done that he's not a mistake, that he's trying to run away from his father, the name Creed, but he wants to build his own name and he wants to build his own legacy. But it's all about accepting who his father was, accepting who he is, and not to be ashamed of it, embrace himself. And I like how his relationship with Rocky is how Rocky is technically dying of cancer, and it's a very sad story. And I like where all these characters have grown and gone, and just like Rocky Balboa has a lot of great moments. The fight scenes are incredible. And what I love about Rocky 1 and Creed was the fact that Rocky and Creed didn't win the fights at the end. They didn't win the fights. But they proved to themselves that they were worth it. And I love Creed for that. And I like Creed a little bit more than Rocky 1 just because I like the love interest in Creed a little bit more. Rocky 1 was basically Rocky talking and his wife just basically being very shy. She wasn't very open. But with Creed, the character that Creed likes, it's just basically, Creed, and basically she's going deaf in the ears and she will eventually go deaf. And I like a little backstory how she could sing, and I liked her love interest. I really do. I think it was a smart love interest. I like all the characters in this film. I don't feel like no character was wasted. To me, Creed is a great Rocky film. I love it. Out of 10, 9.1 out of 10. 1 point higher than 0.1 higher than Rocky the first film. I just love Creed. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was amazing. My 3rd favorite. And my 2nd favorite of the Rocky movies is Rocky 3. I Pity the Fool. I love Rocky 3 because it's Mr. T. And here's the thing. Unlike Rocky 4, Rocky has to build something. Here's the thing: how this movie starts off. Rocky's the champion. He's signing autographs. Apollo Creed's no longer the champion. He's reveling in it, and Mr. T's coming after him. And Rocky's coach basically doesn't want him to fight against this guy because he knows that Rocky could probably lose and get serious damage. And basically, Mr. T at the end kills Rocky's trainer, and it's horrible and it's devastating. But then Rocky doesn't know what to do with himself, and then Apollo Creed comes up, says he's gonna train him. And here's the thing: and besides, Rocky 4 didn't do shit of how Rocky was gonna train to beat up the new fighter. In Rocky 3, Apollo Creed's teaching how to move faster, to be faster, to basically become a faster, stronger fighter and be a smarter fighter. I like how Apollo Creed's coach is helping Rocky out during this one as well, like he did in Rocky Balboa 2. I forgot to mention that, but in Rocky 3, I just love the chemistry with Rocky and Apollo Creed, how they became best friends at the end. The Eye of the Tiger. Love Mr. T, you should have never came back. I mean, Rocky 3 had so many great moments. It's a fitting end to me of a Rocky trilogy, and I love Rocky 3. I mean, there's so many moments I could go back to, and I love Rocky 3. It's out of 10, it's 9.3 out of 10. I love this film, Rocky 3. I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with this film, but why it's number 1, but it's Rocky 2 for me. Rocky 2 just took everything Rocky wrote and just built it to a long side. For one, Apollo Creed is taking Rocky seriously in this movie. He's like, you're a chump, you want to fight, we'll end this right now. But it ain't good. But the thing is, though, I love how Apollo Creed's trainer's like, we don't need that kind of man. I love how, I seen you gave a beating to a man that I never seen got whooped before, and kept coming. And Apollo Creed is not only trying to prove to the world that he could beat Rocky, Rocky just got lucky, but he's all trying to prove to himself that he could beat Rocky. And Rocky, in the first movie, was trying to figure out, I could go the distance with Apollo Creed, but to beat him is another thing, and he did it. And the emotions were so much higher. His pregnant wife onto a coma, he got issues with Paulie. I mean, there was so much drama with Rocky 2, and I loved it for that fact. And it's not like too much drama is no good, but I'm just saying it had the right amount of drama, right amount of fight scenes, right amount of funniness. Rocky 2 was just a triumph return of Rocky being the champion and to beat Apollo Creed, and I loved this film. 9.5 out of 10 to me. This is my favorite of the Rocky series. So yeah, everyone, this is my top 7 Rocky films rankings, and hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you like. Just ring down the bell. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Respect my opinion. I'll respect yours. And what can I say? I was never a fan of... I hardly knew shit about boxing, about the boxing movies, Rockies, Raging Bull, and all those classic ones. I saw The Fighter. I loved it. And I love love boxing movies. To watch it, not so much, but Rocky is one of my top 100 films of all time. I love it. And look at that scene right there. Beautiful. In Philadelphia. City of Brotherly Love. And I love the Rocky series. So yeah, everyone. Angel Lee signing off, everyone. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.